How's it going, everyone? Welcome back again today. This is Devin Roberts with Young Controversy, and we are going into probably four, maybe five if I can think of a good one, but the 4 or 5 best apps for promoting your social media, building your brand, and getting your content out there, especially when you're first starting off.
Where the sun's shining down on my face, I'm running away. You're in a toxic relationship. Time to be.
In a lot of the podcast groups I've been in and Instagram marketing groups and stuff where we discuss strategies and posting styles and where to build logos and things of that nature, a lot of people just don't know. A lot of people haven't done the research to find whatever the better websites and apps and stuff are. So I've been into the podcasting game for almost a year now. Been into professional marketing for a few years, website building for longer than that, and I thought I'd give a few tips of the ones that I've wound up liking best and using most often. So first, and most importantly, if you don't have this one or you haven't used it, you're missing out, I promise you. If you're a beginner designer and you need posts for your Instagram page, if you need to be creating ad-worthy content, so this isn't really for like photographers who need to edit their pictures, but more maybe for podcasters or music promoters or movie makers or YouTubers or something of that nature. Canva is absolutely the place you need to start. Canva. It is a fantastic app. Essentially what you get to go in and do is you get to go in and use templates to design social media posts. They have sizes already picked out for Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Tumblr, whatever it winds up that you're using. You get to go in, you pick a template, you change the colors, the pictures, the logos, the icons to your liking. Really easy, innovative to use, works across desktop and mobile. Once you're done with that, you just post it. It's really easy. I usually go in and maybe do like truly 30, 40 of them at a time, do them over like a day or two period, and then save them and schedule them for the next coming month. And that leads me into my second app pretty well, which has to do with scheduling. So if you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook or you're on Twitter and you aren't scheduling your posts, you're just trying to kind of keep up with them daily, just kind of keep up with the posting schedule of a social media account, a true thriving one, is nearly impossible. You have to be posting multiple times a day, every day, on stories, on your feed, and on everything else. That's something that's almost impossible for people to keep up with, especially doing so while your followers are active or at the most effective times. So there are many apps that do this. I'd like to shout out Buffer and Hootsuite and The Process, who are great apps. They let you schedule about 10 to 15 posts out ahead of time. You get to, write your caption stuff, then sends you a notification letting you know that your post is ready to post. Sends it to Instagram, copy that caption, then you post it. The best of all these apps is Later, though, which allows you to schedule up to 30 posts without having to worry about any kind of fees or anything of that nature. And their cheapest paid version, it's 100 posts. You get to pick your captions. It gives you a big, almost like Outlook or Gmail style calendar, which you can schedule them in, multiple posts a day, really easy to follow. You type your caption up and the app gives you notifications. So what I do is I take Canva, make about 30, 40 posts if necessary, sometimes less, sometimes more, and it doesn't always have to be Canva. If you're already good at using Photoshop or Lightroom or InDesign or something of that nature, Illustrator, and you can make them a little more advanced and a little more custom yourself, then go for it. You don't need Canva, but this is really for beginners who are trying to figure out how to do this out of the gate. So you take the Canva posts that you've made, the 30 or 40, put them into Later and schedule them. That's about, if you're posting daily, that's a month worth of posts. If you're posting more than once daily, do the math. It's 2 weeks, a week, whatever winds up being. But winds up being more than a day worth of posts and winds up being a high number of posts on your account, to the point of where if you're doing it monthly, you should at least be posting every day. I'll schedule times, usually when my followers are most active, and then you'll get a notification to your phone. It'll go bing, and it'll say Later says it's time to post. You click into that app, and you go, and you can post it to Instagram from there. It's fantastic. All right, next most important app for you guys, if you haven't known about this already, is Guys, if you are not using hashtags on Instagram or Facebook not as much, but definitely Twitter and Instagram, then you are absolutely not reaching anyone that you need to reach. Hashtags are the currency of social media, specifically social media marketing. If you want to get your podcast in front of people searching podcasts, use the podcast hashtag. Who would have thought? Well, it's hard to come up with enough hashtags a lot of times to effectively distribute your content. Instagram allows 30 hashtags, which is a pretty good number, but it's hard to come up with 30 hashtags that would be effective for your post and that won't feel too spammy to your already following you audience. So I use an app called LeeTags. What LeeTags does is you type in keywords that may pertain to your post. Some of mine are about politics or news or podcasts or things of that nature, so I'll put in politics or news or podcasts, and it will pop out 30 hashtags that are ranging from semi-popular to very popular, depending on how much they're used. I pick my 30 favorite, it auto-generates the 30 that it thinks would be best, but I can trade them out if I would want, and then I post those to Instagram as the first comment or in the caption of the picture that I chose to post. This distributes it to 30 places that aren't my followers and gives me a chance to gain new followers in the process, which is just about as happy as I could be for the 2 seconds it takes. The longer you take between posting the picture and actually posting the hashtags to the picture, the worse it's going to get as far as where it ranks on the listings, and the less you're going to get traffic from it. So try to be quick, try to post quickly, and try to get the hashtags in there right as you're doing your Instagram post. And yeah, LeeTags is pretty much that effective. There's not much more you have to do to use it effectively. So we've talked about Canva and how it's effective for at least photo advertisements, but we haven't talked about video advertisements. And if you're not doing video at this point in your branding process, you're probably missing out on a ton of content and a ton of viewers that will come look at you simply because you have video content to view. So what I'm suggesting you get is Adobe Rush. Now, this may be one of the harder apps out of everything that I put out so far, guys, but Adobe Rush is obviously made by Adobe. They make all of the best editing software programs that are out there, and Adobe Rush is essentially the dumbed down, slightly more simple brand social media style version of Premiere Pro, which is Adobe's flagship video editing software. Even the app for Adobe Rush is absolutely phenomenal. You can layer videos over other videos and shrink and grow things as you would like. You can add texts and titles to it. You can cut. The video timeline is beautiful. You can layer videos and audio separately, mute audio channels. It's absolutely fantastic. And then you can post directly to social media from the app. It will also save to your Adobe Cloud if you have Adobe Cloud. If you don't, make sure you look into that. But if it does, you'll be able to use it on a Premiere Pro or on Photoshop or wherever else you can download it to that you would want to use it on in your Adobe program. So that's at least what I use it for. But if you don't have all the Adobe programs, if that's not really you and you don't, need to spend the money that it takes to get those sometimes, Adobe Rush is a free app and it's absolutely fantastic and worth every second it takes to learn it. The YouTube tutorials on it aren't that hard and your videos will come out way better for it, I promise. Alright guys, I wanted to come up with a bonus app today, one that kind of fit in the same category with those others and was quality, but just in case people didn't already know this, one of the best ones you can use to share other people's content on Instagram, people don't use often enough, is there are apps for reposting other people's content. It's a good way to engage with pages that are similar to yours, let them know you're sharing their content. It's a good way to shout out other people without having to directly post their profile, just post an incredible piece of content that they have, and it gives them a little tag in the underneath part of the picture. It's the fair way to repost content. So I know a lot of you out there are going, Devin, I don't have the time or the energy or the know-how or the technical skill to make that much content. Well, maybe you have some original content of your own, but when I talk about posting 30 or 60 times a month, that sounds insane to you. Well, what I'm telling you is make as much content as you possibly can using the apps we named through the rest of this video, and then take repost, the Instagram reposting apps, and post other people's Instagram posts, shout them out, tell them you love their work, tag them in it, and build your community that way. It's another great way to do it where you don't have to be making all the original content. Alright guys, I think that was pretty much everything I wanted to touch on today as far as the apps go. Thank you for sitting here with me for a minute as I went over that. honestly, I'm just taking a break in between editing. I was thinking how much people don't realize how valuable these apps are, so I'm glad I was able to get out to you. If you haven't checked out my podcast, the link will be down in the description below. If you haven't been to my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any of that, I would love for you to shoot me a message. Tell me what you learned. Tell me something that you'd like to see. Tell me something you hated, for all I care, honestly. But for now, I think I'm going to be out of here. Thank y'all for listening. This is Devin Roberts with Young Controversy. Peace.